Welcome back to another lesson in Vedic astrology. Today I am going to speak on the good and bad planets in case you were born in the ascendant of Leo or what is known as SIMHA Lagna. If your ascendant is Leo, then Leo is over here. It's also known as Simha, symbolized by the lion. So it means the king. So in your horoscope, this will be the first house. The reason for putting a special mark over this particular house is because this is the most important reference point in your horoscope in case you were born in this ascendant of Leo. So this becomes the house number 1, and from here we go clockwise. So let's start with the best planet for this horoscope. It is Mars, the number 1 good planet. The reason for that is Mars owns the 4th house and also Mars owns the 9th house. This is a square or a kendra, also known as Vishnu Sthana, and this one is a trine, a Lakshmi Sthana, or known as Trikona. If one planet becomes the lord of a kendra and a Trikona, then that planet will be the most auspicious planet. So that is the reason why we have written here as number 1 is Mars. Now let's move on to the next planet. Number 2 is Jupiter. Jupiter owns this one, this house, and is also the ruler of this house. And this house is number 5 and this one is number 8. Jupiter's special place is this house, which is called the Mula Trikona of Jupiter, and the Mula Trikona coincides with the 5th house, making it undoubtedly a beneficial planet. 8th house is not all that bad because 8th house has got good things also to achieve. It also indicates good events in life. For example, legacies, inheritance and lottery. All these things are related to house number 8. Something that happens all of a sudden, and it's not always that only bad things happen all of a sudden. Even good things can happen all of a sudden. So when Jupiter owns one not so good house and one really good house, then he tends to become a benefic, and that's why we have listed it over here. And the third one is obviously Sun, because the Sun rules the ascendant. Being the ruler of the first house, Sun becomes a benefic. Now let's move on to the challenging planets, the enemy planets. The first one is Mercury. The reason for that is Mercury rules the 2nd house. This house belongs to Mercury, but that's not all. Mercury is the special place of Mercury, which is called the Mula Trikona, is also over here, and therefore Mercury is really strong in giving the results of the 2nd house. The 2nd house is a Marakasthana, a death-inflicting planet, very high, causes very high stress or death-like suffering, or takes a person very close to death. So this is the reason why Mercury is listed as a very powerful malefic. But that's not the main thing. Mercury also rules this house, which is the 11th house. And remember always that the lord of the 3, 6 and 11, whenever we discuss about functional malefics and functional benefics, we use this rule, the 3rd lord, the 6th lord and the 11th lord. And the 11th lord is really bad. So we now have the situation that Mercury is the ruler of the 11th and the 2nd, and therefore tops the list as a functional malefic. The next one is Venus. Venus rules the 3rd house, and this house is the Mula Trikona, or the special place of Venus, and that coincides with house number 3, and you have 3 over here, and that's the reason why it's bad. But it also rules the 10th house. The 10th house, whenever a Shubha Graha or a natural benefic rules a Kendra like 1, 4, 7, 10, then it becomes already, it tends to become a bad planet. It does not actually become bad because of the lordship of the 10th, and a benefic, a natural benefic, ceases to be a benefic whenever it rules house number 1, 4, 7, 10. So it's already tending to be bad, and then one more reason is over here. Venus is the lord of 3rd, and that is also the Mula Trikona of Venus, and that's the reason why Venus is number 2 enemy. And the third enemy is Saturn. The reason for that is Saturn rules house number 6 and house number 7. So you can write here Saturn, and here you see that Saturn is really bad because he is ruling house number 6, and on top of that he is ruling house number 7. The lord of the 2nd and the 7th is always called the Marakas Sthanadipati, or the planet that rules the house of death or death-like suffering, and this is therefore a very high stress planet, and Saturn is always inclined to giving more of challenges and trouble, and therefore Saturn is a very strong functional malefic. You may ask, why don't we write Saturn as number 1, because Saturn is having so many negativities, but the point is, it's always in this order. The 11th is the lord of the 11th is the most powerful functional malefic, always. So that's the reason why Mercury took house, the first position over here. So remember that the 7th house sometimes also has to give good results. 7th house deals with marriage, 7th house deals with profession, because it is the 10th from the 10th house. So you count from here, 1, 2, 3 like this, you will reach 10 here. So 7th has got a lot of good things to give us, and that's the reason why he is not placed over here. Now what we have left out is the moon, because the moon rules the 12th house. So surely he is also bad, but he is not as bad as these 3 planets. Despite being the lord of the 12th, moon can also give good results, provided in the horoscope moon is well placed and moon is with good planets. Moon can give good results. So that's why we have not actually listed it here as a functional malefic. The reason for that is we will have to know this, the real nature of the moon for a person born in Leo Ascendant by looking at his horoscope. So it all depends on that. Why I have been using this whiteboard is because I thought that students can learn easily if they see what's happening, rather than just reading, listening to my lecture. That's the reason why I have recently started using the whiteboard. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any doubts, please let me know that whenever I have the time I will answer them for you. Thank you so much.